Greetings, fellow hobby traveler. Follow me today as I'm trying to reignite my hobby fire and work on this historic mini, trying to paint it in a more artsy style. Welcome to Floppycraft. Hey, so during the last months I felt like not very motivated to paint a lot and hobby a lot, and I was struggling a bit. But recently I've looked at these lots of awesome projects and other creators doing these kind of less polished freestyle hobby vlog videos, and felt like give it a try. So to give my motivation back, and right now I'm trying to work on a historic mini. This is Ferdinand von Schill. It's a miniature I bought, a metal miniature I bought at the Taktika in Hamburg this spring, and I felt like it inspired me to do something a bit more oriented on these kind of oil paintings, this more artsy style, I guess. And yeah, going over it, it's like you can see it. That's a guy, and that's something I was going for to give it a less polished. I mean, here you can see a bit. It's not getting into focus. Anyway, you can see I've been looking at lots of old photos, oil paintings for reference, and they're kind of like I noticed a style I wanted to pick, which is like working with strong blue and red tones. You can kind of see it a bit. You can see it a bit better when I show the close-ups, and but the rest is more a bit brownish, muted. And yeah, and to get over my hobby slump, I'm kind of trying to do things a bit more freestyle, basically picking up like tiny progress each day. Just do a little bit instead of planning like a big hobby session. I'm trying to see how this works out and how this unstructured rambling is also coming across. I hope to just try it and see if anybody likes this and also still wants to watch a few more of these vlogs. So this is the good guy. I've sketched in all the base colors, did some lights and shadows, and I'm planning to refine it now. It's very rough around the corners, and I'll try to make it a bit more smoother, a bit more shadows, and see where it gets. Mixing of colors is always an important part of my painting process. I tend to use a couple of base colors, reds, blues, greens, and mix them together to create my light and shadow, because I feel like it ties together the miniature in a very unique way. It kind of brings the colors together. Like here, for example, from a non-metallic metal, I'm using black, deep blue, and white. To be fair, non-metallic metal is kind of a boring example, but I've been using the same technique basically on all my sketching here, where I try to mix in deep blues and purple tones to get my shadows. Also, when lighting up my colors, I tend to use yellow and brownish tones. It kind of gives this warm feel to everything. So after starting to paint a very blackish blue, I gradually go lighter with more of white in between to light it up and set the highlights and reflections on my non-metallic metal. Finishing off with an almost white shine. I could have used a bit of skin tone maybe in between to tie it a bit more together with the lighting of the miniature. Maybe I do it in my refinement stage. Yeah, so I guess to really get back into the hobby, it's a lot of, for me, about finishing small stuff, seeing successes, and focusing on not being so perfect. I mean, for me, it's kind of like time is a big issue. I don't find like hours each week to dump into the hobby, and it's also one of the main reason I basically staying away from any type of competition painting, because I really want to do something, but then in the end it's like hours and hours, hundreds of hours into projects like I did uh with my latest Calamorph. It has been great fun, but so far in the end it always feels like this tiny nook is missing to win a competition, and then it's like kind of demotivating, and trying to focus more on myself, not being so perfect, which is honestly hard for me. The next step is adding a wash to everything. I figured out I probably use a mixture of Durci Violet and Nuln. I did a similar thing with a base, and you can see it turned out pretty dark, but it's also a good thing to kind of work on and paint on more light colors and highlights on it. So I'm hoping it will do the same with the miniature, and it will kind of help to separate a bit the different colors and render a bit more definition on it. So yeah, this step turned out exactly how I hoped it to be. The definitions are rendered much more clearly, everything is a tiny bit darker, and it's like a perfect base for me to lay on some lighter colors and paint highlights and some little details, and overall give it a much more round feeling. So I'm really looking forward to the next steps here. So, what is the conclusion out of it? Well, first off, it's kinda not very satisfying to finish up a video without having the miniature finished, I guess. But anyway, that's where we are. I have to say, I feel a new breath of energy going through me, and I kind of like this approach. I try to stick to not really overthinking my next steps and just trying out new things. I guess what I can do is leave a little shout out to some of these smaller creators that really keep me going and inspired me to take up this step again to do some videos and just do it. So, for example, Contract Craft, White Star Minis, you're awesome. Just a few days in, and you're totally rocking it. But also to the Hobby Club, When I Can Hobby, and for all, Zerania is doing a great job with streaming and so on, and she really entertains me. So yeah, go check out their profiles. I'll leave the links in the description below. And for most, thank you for sticking around. I see if there's some more people interested in my rambling. And even if it's just the 40 ones that watched my first video, you guys are awesome. Thanks a lot. Bye.